Alright, on this episode of Fishing with Bubba, I want to take you to a very special place of mine. I'm going to take you to where I learned how to fish for alligator gar. We're going to be fishing in a private oxbow lake off the Trinity River, where I grew up as a kid fishing, chasing these fish, fishing for catfish, fishing for gar. This is my backyard. The lake we'll be fishing is an old oxbow lake off of the Trinity River. It's going to be just like any other lake environment. There's going to be a lot of game fish in the lake. There's going to be a lot of bait fish, and the fish here are generally going to be full. They have plenty of food to eat. So fishing in a lake environment for alligator gar is going to be the hardest situation to catch them in. In the river, they're a little hungrier because it's harder to catch the fish. You have the current and stuff to mess with. But in the lake, there's plenty of fish. There's no current. And fishing conventional style would be the hardest way to fish for alligator gar in the lake. So what I've learned over the years of fishing for these is they tend to have a reaction strike. I've caught alligator gar on flies. I've caught them on lures, conventional style, and of course I've caught them on a snare, which was by request from some Japanese film crew. This will be my first time attempting to try this by myself, and I want y'all to know that I'm not a professional kayaker. I've carried a few people out and let them catch big fish in a kayak, but I have no experience whatsoever fishing out of a kayak, much less catching a big alligator gar. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens and what turns out. Fishing for alligator gar on a lure, you have to do a little bit of modifications to your lures in order to catch an alligator gar. First of all, what I've done is I've replaced the hooks on this 1-ounce Bill Lewis Rattle Trap, and what I put on there is a 4/0 short shank troker, and this hook here is better for penetrating bone than the standard hooks that come on these. So I've replaced all my lures. We're going to start out using this one today, and we may swap to some other colors depending on how the bite goes. Well, you got to have a leader on your rattle trap. If not, it will cut loose. Their teeth will cut your line. So what we're going to use here is uncoated wire by 7-strand. This is a 135-pound uncoated 7-strand wire, and you want to make your leader probably about 1.5 feet long. You want to add at least 135-pound swivel. You just put them on there and crimp them. Same thing on the rattle trap end. Just put your leader on there, bend your wire around, and it still track good in the water running this leader. And there you have it. Now this here will catch a big alligator gar if we can run it by his face and he sees it and bites it. Bill Lewis lures, they are the best for doing this type of fishing for gar. Man, I'm hooked up on a rattle trap out here on a gar. He's dragging me around. Oh Lord. I don't know how big he is, but he's pulling me around. I'm trying to get this camera. I wasn't expecting this. I don't even know how big he is. About to fall out of this kayak. I ain't even got him up. So, here we go. This fish is dragging us around. Oh, this is so fun. Now back this way. Oh! Yes, sir. I don't think he's a no super big fish, but it sure is fun. I'm trying to get this camera. There we go. Woo! A big fish. Oh Lord! Rattle trap, buddy. This sucker is big. He's big for me on a rattle trap. Yes, sir. What a fish. Let me get this up. Man, I'm out here in the kayak. Look at this sucker. He hit that rattle trap, and I thought I done hung a monster, which I guess it is a monster. Yes, sir. I love it. I hope that camera there can get it. I turned it on. Here he comes. Yo! Whoa! He's getting a little close to the boat. That rattle trap in his mouth with the trocars, treble hooks. Fish didn't stand a chance. And I tell you the truth, I wouldn't care if he come unhooked right now, because I don't know if I want to mess with him. He might, he just come undone right there. That's a big fish. He's giving up. He's hooked. Man. It's alligator gar ever caught on a lure in a kayak. This is probably it right here. I've caught many of these fish, but solo in a kayak, that's the ultimate experience, man. You just gotta try it one day. I'm gonna try and pick him up and put him in my lap, but man, oh man, you just can't describe the feeling of getting drug around in a freshwater lake with a prehistoric monster like this. Unbelievable fish. Oh Lordy, there you go. I wish I had someone to help. Wasn't that awesome? Y'all just witnessed me catch my very first really big alligator gar in the kayak all by myself, not to mention with a rattle trap. But that's not it. Next trip out, I caught an even bigger one in the kayak on a rattle trap. So y'all stay tuned for the next week's episode of Fishing with Bubba, where I catch an even bigger alligator gar in the kayak.